Now, sometimes we're given a data set and you have to determine which is the best measure, mean, median, or mode. That's what we're going to take a look at it here. So as a wrestling coach, you're listing weights of all the wrestlers in each weight categories. Well, since you're listing all the weights in each category, and each category is not going to be that big, or it could be relatively big, but most of the people are going to be around their weight. So I would say the mean would be your best measure. Because you don't have any, the only time you wouldn't want to use the mean if you have something that's really big or really small. So I would say the mean, because most of the people are going to be close to that weight category. Now, if we take a look at example 4, it says you download 5 songs every weekday from the internet and 4 times as many downloads on the weekend days. This is a case where your mean would not be the best, because if you find the mean, you're going to get a number that doesn't represent any day. Because we only have 2 types of data. We have weekdays and weekends. So I would say the mode would be your best bet on this one, or you even could say the median would work. Both answers would be acceptable. The mode, because the one that occurs the most often. If we have 5 days in a week out of 7, so I would think you just count. That would be the best. If we put them in order, 5 is going to be straight in the middle, because you're going to have 7 days that have 5, and you have these 2 big other days with 20, because 5 times 4 is 20. So I would say the median could work, but I think the mode would work the best. When it comes to standardized tests, like the test we take in the spring, or when you take your SAT, this is an example, or ACT, which is what most people are going to take, you'll get your percentile. And the thing about, remember what a percentile doesn't measure anything. A percentile gives you your position. When we say you're at the 75th percentile, that means 75% of the people who took the test the same day as you did scored less than you. 25% scored the same as you or higher. Notice how I said that. You will never, ever be in the 100th percentile, because not everybody can score below you, because you have to include yourself in there. So the most you can be in the 90 is the 99th percentile. But most of the time when you're doing percentiles, you're measuring where you're at as compared to everybody else. So how do you calculate the percentile? Well, you count the number of people who scored below you, and you divide that by the total. Now, I've got the step-by-step instructions here, but that's pretty much what you do. So let's take a look at example 5. It says a talent show was held for 20 finalists in the Teen Idol contest. Each performer received a score from 0 through 30, with 30 being the highest. The highest score is Delia, I guess. The highest score is Delia. What is her percentile rank? Let's find Delia. Here's 29. Does anybody score the same as her? I don't see that. So what happens? How many people scored less than her? Well, there are 20 finalists, so 19 people scored less than Delia. I always want to say it's Delia. So 19, how many contestants are there? Well, there are 20 contestants. Well, 19 out of 20 is 0.95, and we usually write percentiles as a percentage. So we're going to say Delia's percentile, she was in the 95th percentile. Notice, although she beat everybody else, she had the highest score. She's still in the 95th percentile, because herself doesn't count in that. She can't beat herself or score higher than herself.